The alien princess was bare when I entered. Her surprise was evident. The sun was setting on Earth, casting a golden hue across the horizon. The world seemed calm, but for the people at the United Space Command, USC, things were far from normal. A mysterious signal had been detected from deep space, originating from a distant star system that no human had ever explored. Scientists and military leaders worked together, trying to decode the message. After weeks of analysis, they concluded that it was a signal from an alien species, one that appeared to be peaceful, but nothing could have prepared them for what came next. Commander Leo Carter, a seasoned officer in the USC, stood in front of a large monitor in the command center, his eyes focused on the data stream. His expression was serious as he studied the readings. The signal's source. "It's coming from a ship," he muttered, more to himself than anyone else, "and it's heading straight for us." "Sir, the ship is entering Earth's atmosphere," Lieutenant Rose Marshall said, her voice sharp. "We've never seen anything like it before." "It's huge, unlike anything our satellites have picked up." Leo frowned. The situation was growing more complicated by the minute. He had expected first contact to be a long process, not something that would happen so suddenly. His mind raced as he thought about the possibilities. Was this an invasion, a peaceful visit, or something else entirely? The ship, a sleek metallic craft, appeared in Earth's sky, larger than any aircraft the humans had ever built. It descended slowly, gracefully, as though it were being guided by some unseen force. It hovered over a vast field in the desert, its engines humming with an eerie, otherworldly sound. The people below watched in awe, unsure of what to expect. Within minutes, a message was broadcasted to every television, radio, and communication device on the planet. The voice was soft, almost melodic, yet filled with authority. "Greetings, humans. I am Princess Zorath of the Arakian Empire. I come in peace. Please allow me to land." Leo exchanged looks with his team. This was it. The first contact humanity had been waiting for. But there was something unusual about the tone of the message. It was too calm, too controlled. What did the Arakians want with Earth? And why had they chosen to send a princess? "Prepare a welcoming party," Leo ordered. "I want a team ready to greet her, diplomatic, not military. We don't want to appear threatening." Minutes later, Leo found himself in a convoy, racing towards the desert site where the alien ship had landed. The atmosphere was tense, both in the air and on the ground. As they approached the ship, Leo's heart began to race. He had never expected this day to come. An alien princess, descending from the stars, and humanity's first contact with her. This was history in the making. The ship was now fully landed. It shimmered in the fading sunlight, its surface reflecting the golden light like a giant mirror. A ramp extended down, and at the top stood a figure, shrouded in a flowing, silver cloak. The princess. "Commander Carter, we're ready," Lieutenant Marshall said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "Should we proceed?" Leo nodded, stepping forward. "Yes, let's go." As they approached the ramp, a soft sound echoed from the ship. The alien princess descended, her cloak billowing around her. She was tall and slender, with striking features that were both regal and alien. Her skin was a soft shade of blue, and her eyes gleamed with an intensity that was both unsettling and beautiful. Her long, silvery hair seemed to move with a life of its own, as though it was caught in an invisible wind. She looked around at the humans gathered before her, her gaze calculating and calm. "Commander," she spoke, her voice melodic, yet carrying an undeniable weight. "I am Princess Zorath of the Arakian Empire. I have come to you with a proposal. My people have watched your planet for many years, and we believe that our two civilizations can benefit from an alliance." Leo stepped forward, trying to maintain a professional demeanor despite the overwhelming strangeness of the situation. "Princess Zorath, welcome to Earth. We are honored by your visit, and we are eager to understand more about your proposal. But before we discuss anything further, We must ensure that your presence here is peaceful. We cannot risk the safety of our people." The princess nodded, seemingly unfazed by the caution in Leo's voice. "I understand your concerns, Commander. But know this, we do not come to conquer or harm. We seek only peace and cooperation. Our technology, our knowledge, and our resources could benefit both our species." Leo exchanged glances with his team. This was a lot to take in. An alien species offering peace, technology, and resources. It was almost too good to be true, but something in the princess's demeanor seemed genuine, even if her appearance was foreign and unsettling. "Then let us talk," Leo said. "We will take you to a secure location where we can discuss your proposal in detail." The princess smiled, a serene and almost enigmatic expression. "I would be honored." As they led the princess to a nearby facility for talks, the air was thick with tension. No one knew what to expect. Was this a genuine offer, or was there something hidden beneath the surface? Leo couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter, this meeting with an alien princess, was only the beginning of something much larger. Something that would change the course of humanity forever. Inside the facility, the princess took a seat at the round table where the USC's top officials were gathered. Leo could see the unease in their eyes as they watched her every move. She was not like anything they had ever encountered before, but there was also something about her that was captivating. She held their attention without even trying, exuding a calm confidence that made it clear she was someone of great power. "I have come to offer you something valuable, Commander," the princess began, her voice steady and clear. "But first, you must understand the stakes. Our empire is vast, spanning many galaxies. However, we face a grave threat, one that could destroy us all. And we believe that you, humanity, could be the key to our survival." The room went silent as the weight of her words sank in. What could an alien empire need from Earth? And why had they chosen now to reveal themselves? Leo leaned forward, his curiosity piqued. "What threat do you face, Princess? And how can we help?" The princess's expression hardened for a moment, and she glanced around at the officials in the room before speaking again. "A rival empire, the Zarak Horde, seeks to destroy us. They are ruthless, and they have advanced weaponry that even our technology struggles to defend against. We need your help to defeat them." The tension in the room was palpable. A war was brewing in the stars, and humanity might be caught in the middle of it. Leo's mind raced. An alliance with an alien empire. Was it worth the risk? Would humanity be ready for the kind of responsibility that came with such a decision? But as he looked at Princess Zarath, he realized that Earth had just been thrust into a new age of space exploration, and with it, a choice that could shape their future forever. The room was filled with silence. Commander Leo Carter could feel the weight of Princess Zarath's words pressing down on him. The Zarak Horde, a ruthless enemy of the Arakian Empire. It sounded like something out of a nightmare, yet the princess had spoken so calmly, so assuredly. Her presence seemed to command respect, but Leo couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to her than met the eye. He glanced at his team, all of them equally absorbed in the princess's revelation. Lieutenant Rose Marshall, ever the pragmatist, was the first to break the silence. "Are you saying that this Zarak Horde would attack Earth too if we don't help you?" Her voice was steady, but Leo noticed the uncertainty in her eyes. Princess Zarath's expression did not waver. "I cannot say for certain, but we fear that if they defeat us, they will turn their attention to other worlds, including yours. Our only hope is to stop them before it's too late." Leo thought carefully. An alien empire asking for help to fight a war. It was more than he had ever imagined he'd be involved in. He had been trained for military tactics, not for intergalactic diplomacy. But this was a different kind of battle. The future of humanity, and possibly the galaxy, rested on this decision. "We don't even know you," Leo said. "We don't know anything about your technology, your people, or what you really want from us. Why should we trust you?" The princess met his gaze with unwavering calm. I understand your caution, Commander. It is wise to be skeptical. But you must understand the Zarak horde is not like anything you have encountered before. Their forces are vast, their weapons devastating. They have already destroyed many of our colonies. If they come for Earth, they will not hesitate. Her words were chilling, but there was something in the way she spoke that made Leo hesitate. She was not asking for blind loyalty. She was offering a partnership, a chance to stand together against a common enemy. I can't make a decision like this alone, Leo said, looking at his team. We need to consult with Earth's leaders, with the United Nations, the Global Security Council. This is too big for us to handle without broader support. Princess Zorath nodded. I understand. I will give you the time you need to consult with your leaders. But remember, time is a luxury we do not have. The Zarak horde's invasion force could be days away, weeks at most. If you wait too long, it may be too late. Leo nodded, his mind racing. The stakes had never been higher. A week ago, he was leading routine military exercises. Now, he was sitting at a table, negotiating with an alien princess, debating whether or not to join a war that could change the course of human history. I'll need to make some calls, Leo said, standing up. In the meantime, I ask that you remain here in our care. We will provide security and protection while we organize a meeting with our leaders. Princess Zorath stood, her silvery hair cascading down her back like liquid light. Of course, Commander, I will remain in your care as promised. As Leo and his team left the room, he could feel the weight of the decision bearing down on him. This wasn't just about politics. This wasn't just about diplomacy. This was about the survival of Earth, perhaps even the survival of humanity itself. The days that followed were a blur of meetings and discussions. World leaders, military commanders, and top scientists gathered in secret locations to discuss the implications of the alien princess's visit. Leo was there every step of the way, sitting at the table with the decision-makers of the world, listening to their concerns, their hopes, and their fears. The arguments were heated. Some leaders wanted to join the Arakian Empire immediately, eager to secure an alliance that could bring advanced technology, medical breakthroughs, and knowledge that could propel Earth into a new era. Others, however, were more cautious. The idea of trusting an alien empire, especially one involved in a war, was a hard pill to swallow. How could they be sure the Arakians weren't hiding something? What if this was a trap? In the midst of the debate, Leo found himself questioning everything. Could they trust Princess Zorath? Could they afford not to? Late one night, after another long day of meetings, Leo stood on the balcony of his apartment, staring out at the city below. The world was quiet, peaceful, almost oblivious to the crisis unfolding in the stars. His communicator buzzed, pulling him out of his thoughts. "Commander Carter," Rose's voice crackled through the speaker, "you need to come to the secure facility immediately. Princess Zorath has requested to speak with you." Leo's heart skipped a beat. He had hoped that the princess's silence meant that Earth's leaders were close to reaching a decision. But it seemed that she had something else on her mind. When Leo arrived at the secure facility, he found Princess Zorath waiting for him in a small conference room. Her presence was as commanding as ever, her eyes gleaming with a mix of calm authority and something else, something Leo couldn't quite place. "Commander," she greeted him as he entered, "thank you for coming." "Of course, Princess," Leo said, taking a seat across from her. "What's on your mind?" "I need to be honest with you, Commander," she began, her voice low. "There are things about my people, about my empire, that I have not shared with you, things that you must understand if you are to make an informed decision." Leo's curiosity was piqued. He had always suspected that there was more to the Arakians than what they had revealed, but hearing the princess admit it openly felt like a turning point. "I'm listening," Leo said. Princess Zorath leaned forward, her expression intense. "The Zarak horde is not just a military threat. They are a force of chaos, an empire built on destruction. We have fought them for centuries, but they are relentless. They have weapons that can destroy entire planets, and their greatest weapon is the Void Engine. Leo's mind raced. The Void Engine. He had heard rumors about such a weapon, a device capable of wiping out entire star systems. The Void Engine is capable of erasing entire civilizations, Zorath continued. If the Horde deploys it, they can reduce Earth to nothing more than a pile of rubble. We cannot let that happen. The room grew still. The weight of her words was almost too much to bear. Leo understood the stakes now. This wasn't just about Earth's survival. This was about the very future of the galaxy. I'm not asking you to trust us blindly, Commander, Zorath added. I'm asking you to fight with us, to stand by our side and help us defeat the Zarak Horde before they bring the Void Engine to your doorstep. Leo took a deep breath, the enormity of the decision settling in his chest. He had thought about it for days, but now, facing the princess in person, it was clear. The future of humanity was in his hands. I'll take this to the leaders of Earth, Leo said firmly. But I can't promise anything. We need time. Princess Zorath nodded, understanding the weight of his words. I understand, but remember, Commander, time is a luxury we do not have. Back in the meeting room, as Leo prepared to leave, he knew one thing for certain. This was no longer a simple decision. Earth was about to be thrust into a conflict far beyond anything humanity had ever known. And soon, they would have to decide. Would they stand alone, or would they fight with the Arakian Empire against the threat of the Zarak Horde? The world was on edge. The news had spread across the globe, and humanity now faced a decision that no one could have ever predicted. An alien princess had arrived, offering an alliance to fight a destructive empire bent on erasing entire civilizations. Princess Zorath's words were clear. The Zarak Horde, with their terrifying Void Engine, would soon come for Earth. If humanity didn't act, it would face annihilation. But could they trust her? Commander Leo Carter stood in a secure conference room, surrounded by Earth's top military leaders, diplomats, and scientists. They had spent days debating, analyzing every piece of information they had, yet the question remained. Should humanity join the Arakian Empire's fight against the Zarak Horde, or should they prepare for the worst alone? The tension in the room was palpable. Everyone waited for Leo to speak, but the weight of the decision was heavy on him. He had seen the fear in Princess Zorath's eyes when she spoke of the Void Engine. He had heard the stories of planets reduced to nothing but ash. But could they really trust her? Could Earth afford to take such a monumental risk? I've talked to the leaders of the world, Leo said finally, breaking the silence. We all agree on one thing: we can't sit back and do nothing. But the question is, can we trust the Arakians? A murmur swept through the room, but no one interrupted. Leo continued, his voice steady but firm. We know that the Zarak Horde is real, and we know that their power is terrifying. But what we don't know is whether we're making the right decision by aligning ourselves with the Arakian Empire. Are they our allies, or are we just another pawn in their war? General Thomas, a gruff military officer known for his no-nonsense approach, slammed his fist on the table. We don't have time for second-guessing, Carter. The Zarak Horde is out there and they're coming for us. If we don't fight back, Earth could be gone in a matter of weeks. The princess said they've already destroyed Arakian colonies. What makes us think we're safe? Dr. Amelia Reyes, the head scientist of the Earth Defense Initiative, adjusted her glasses and spoke up. General, I understand your urgency, but we need to approach this with caution. The Void Engine is a weapon unlike anything we've ever seen. If the Arakians are to be believed, we need their help to defeat it. But we also need to be sure that this alliance won't come with unforeseen consequences. What if they ask us for something in return that we're not prepared to give? Leo turned to look at Dr. Reyes, nodding thoughtfully. That's exactly my concern. We're facing a choice between two unknowns, the threat of the Zarak horde and the intentions of the Arakians. The room fell silent again. The weight of the decision was clear on everyone's face. Leo had always prided himself on making tough choices, but this one was different. This wasn't just about a military strategy or securing Earth's borders. This was about the survival of humanity itself. Finally, a voice broke the silence. It was Lieutenant Rose Marshall, Leo's trusted second-in-command. "Commander," she said, her voice calm but firm, "we're being given an opportunity here. The princess has shared details of the Zarak horde that we would never have known on our own. She's offered us technology that could change everything. We can't ignore that." "I agree," Leo said, turning to face her. "But if we're going to make a decision, we need to meet with the princess again. We need more information, more answers. What does she really want from us? What's the real cost of this alliance?" Later that day, Leo and a small team of diplomats and military personnel made their way to the secure facility where Princess Zarath was being held. The princess had agreed to meet with them again, and this time, Leo hoped to get the answers he needed to make an informed decision. When they arrived, Princess Zarath was waiting for them in a quiet, private room. She looked serene as always, her glowing blue skin shimmering in the soft light. But Leo noticed the subtle tension in her posture, as though she, too, was feeling the weight of the conversation that was about to unfold. "Commander Carter," she greeted him, her voice as calm and steady as ever. "I trust you've had time to consider our situation." Leo nodded, taking a seat across from her. "We've been discussing the situation at length, Princess. We're all aware of the threat posed by the Zarak horde, but there are still some questions that need to be answered before we can commit to any alliance." Princess Zarath nodded, her silvery hair moving with the slightest of gestures. "I understand. Ask your questions, Commander. I will answer them to the best of my ability." Leo took a deep breath. "First of all, what exactly is the Void Engine? How does it work and why is it so powerful?" Princess Zorath's eyes darkened slightly, her expression becoming more serious. "The Void Engine is a weapon capable of destroying entire planets, Commander. It uses a type of energy that manipulates the very fabric of space itself, creating a tear in reality that erases everything in its path. The Zarak horde has used it to annihilate entire civilizations, leaving nothing behind. It is the most devastating weapon known to any species in the galaxy." Leo leaned forward. "And you're sure that this weapon is headed towards Earth? That the horde is going to use it against us?" "We are certain," Zarath replied. "The Zarak horde has been mobilizing their forces for months. We have intercepted their communications, and their fleets are en route to your planet. They will stop at nothing to bring the Void Engine to Earth." Leo felt a chill run down his spine. The Void Engine wasn't just a weapon, it was a force of destruction beyond imagination. The idea of an entire planet being wiped out in an instant was too much to comprehend. But the princess's certainty left little room for doubt. "Then why didn't you warn us earlier?" Leo asked, the words slipping out before he could stop them. "Why wait until now to make contact?" The sun rose over Earth's horizon, a new day dawning amidst the calm before the storm. Humanity was on the brink of a decision that could change the course of history. With the Arakian Empire now an ally and the Zarak horde still looming as a deadly threat, Commander Leo Carter had a weighty responsibility on his shoulders. The decision had been made. Earth would stand with the Arakians, and together they would fight against the impending invasion. But as Leo prepared for the coming battle, he knew that this war would test every limit of humanity's willpower and resolve. The Zarak horde was unlike any enemy they had ever faced, and the Void Engine, a weapon capable of erasing entire planets, was their trump card. Earth could not afford to fail. Leo sat in the command center, surrounded by his top team, all of whom were working tirelessly to prepare for the battle ahead. The room buzzed with activity. Officers and strategists coordinated troop movements, while scientists and engineers worked with the Iraqian experts to adapt their technology to Earth's defenses. The stakes were higher than ever, but the unity of humanity and the Iraqians was strong. "We've finished analyzing the Zarak Horde's fleet," Lieutenant Rose Marshall said, her voice breaking through the noise. "They've already entered our solar system. Their lead ship is within striking distance of Earth's orbit." Leo's heart sank. The enemy was closer than he'd anticipated. Every second counted. "Report," Leo said, his voice firm. General Thomas stood by a large holographic display, his face grim. "The Zarak Horde's fleet is massive, Commander. They have at least 50 warships in orbit, including several capital ships, and their flagship, the one that carries the Void engine, appears to be in the lead. We don't have the firepower to take it down directly." Leo nodded, taking in the information. "We've been preparing for this moment. It's time to use everything we have. We need to coordinate with the Iraqians. Their technology is our best chance at survival." A few moments later, Princess Zareth entered the command center, her presence as imposing as ever. She was dressed in battle attire, her usual elegant cloak replaced by a sleek combat suit designed to enhance her mobility in the field. Though she was an alien, Leo had come to respect her determination. The Iraqian princess was a warrior in her own right. "Commander," Zareth said, her voice carrying a calm authority, "we are ready to join the fight. My people will stand by you until the last breath." Leo turned to face her, his eyes narrowing. "We need to take down their flagship, the one carrying the Void engine. Without it, the rest of their fleet will fall apart. Do you have a plan?" Zareth's lips curled into a small smile. "We do. Our ships are equipped with a new type of weapon, pulse disruptors. They can disable the Zarak Horde's shields and render their ships vulnerable. But we must work together to target their flagship. If we strike at its weak point, the Void engine will be destroyed, and the rest of their fleet will lose its edge." Leo's mind raced. The idea of using pulse disruptors was sound, but he couldn't help but wonder if there was another way. They needed to make sure the Void engine didn't get activated. If it did, all of Earth's defenses would be useless. "Can we disable the Void engine before it's deployed?" Leo asked. Zareth's expression hardened. "It is possible, but we need to get inside their flagship. The device is well guarded and the Zarak Horde won't let us get close without a fight." Leo knew what that meant. A direct assault on the flagship would be risky, maybe even suicidal, but it was their best chance to stop the weapon before it could be used. He turned to his team, determination in his eyes. "We don't have much time," he said. "We're going to need a small strike team to board the flagship and disable the Void engine. The rest of you will hold off the Horde's fleet. This is our chance, people. If we fail, we lose everything." Hours later, Leo and his team were aboard one of the Iraqian warships, preparing for the most dangerous mission of their lives. The ship was sleek, its surface reflecting the starlight as it cut through the vast emptiness of space. Leo, Rose, and a group of elite soldiers were dressed in specialized suits, designed to survive in the vacuum of space and withstand the intense energy pulses from the enemy ships. As they neared the Zarak Horde's flagship, the tension in the air was palpable. The Zarak ships loomed large in the distance, their dark, jagged forms giving off an aura of menace. The flagship, a massive vessel, was guarded by dozens of smaller ships that patrolled the area, ready to defend their prize. "We've detected the Void engine," an Iraqian officer called out. "It's on the lower level of the flagship, heavily guarded. We'll need to cut through several layers of defense to get there." Leo nodded. "We don't have the luxury of time. We'll go in fast, hit hard, and disable the Void engine. No second chances." The ship shuddered as they entered the enemy's defense perimeter. Enemy fire rained down on them, but the Iraqian ship's advanced shields held strong. The team was ready, and within moments they launched into the Void. The strike team descended on the Zarak flagship with surgical precision, using the element of surprise to infiltrate the ship. They moved swiftly, avoiding the watchful eyes of the Horde's guards. Rose and Leo led the way, their weapons drawn and their senses alert to every sound. As they entered the massive control room housing the Void engine, they were met with resistance. Zarak Horde soldiers, tall and armored, charged toward them with fierce battle cries. The air filled with the sound of blaster fire and the clash of metal on metal. Leo and his team fought fiercely, using every ounce of training to stay one step ahead of the enemy. "Keep moving," Leo shouted, dodging a blast that nearly hit him. "The Void engine is ahead." They fought their way through the chaos, and soon they reached the heart of the Zarak flagship, the chamber that held the Void engine. The weapon was even more terrifying in person. A massive, dark core pulsated with unnatural energy, surrounded by a web of intricate machinery. If activated, it would have the power to destroy Earth in an instant. Rose moved forward, her hands working quickly to disable the controls. "We're almost there," she said, her voice tense but steady. But just as she was about to disable the Void engine, a massive explosion shook the room. The Zarak Horde had activated a failsafe, and the room was now flooded with soldiers. Leo knew they had seconds to act. "Get to the core," Leo shouted. "Now." With no time to waste, Rose and Leo moved toward the core, using every last ounce of their strength to fight their way through. They reached the Void engine just as it began to hum louder, the energy surging through the ship. The countdown had already begun. Rose slammed her hand on the control panel, and a series of sparks flew from the machine. The engine's energy began to flicker, weakening, but they weren't out of danger yet. The Zarak Horde soldiers closed in, their weapons raised, but Leo and his team held them off long enough for Rose to finish the sequence. With a final push, the Void engine powered down, its pulsating energy collapsing in on itself. "We did it," Rose exclaimed, panting with exhaustion. But their victory was short-lived. The ship was beginning to break apart, the destruction of the Void engine triggering a chain reaction. Leo and his team barely made it back to the Arakian ship, which was already retreating from the chaos. As they flew back to Earth, Leo looked out into the vastness of space. They had won this battle, but the war was far from over. The Zarak Horde would be back, and humanity would need to be ready. But for now, Earth had survived.